Welcome to the Child Development Division tutorial on the American Rescue Plan Act Stabilization Funding Opportunity. We will call this ARPA Stabilization throughout this tutorial. We hope by the end of this session, you will understand the funding opportunity, you will learn how to complete the application, and you will learn about support and technical assistance available to help with questions. We are pleased to announce the ARPA Stabilization Program for regulated childcare and school-age providers. The purpose of this program is to cover unexpected business costs associated with the pandemic and to stabilize operations so that you can continue providing care. You are eligible for this opportunity if you are a registered or licensed family childcare home, a licensed center-based childcare and preschool program, a licensed after-school program, or an approved relative care provider, and you are located in Vermont, you are serving Vermont families, and you are open and serving children as of the date of your application, or you were open on March 11th, 2021, but have closed due to COVID-19 related issues and plan to open within 30 days of submitting your application. Childcare programs that have been suspended or had their license revoked are not eligible to apply for this program. How will payments be calculated? Payments have been calculated using a base rate for program type, with possible increases for the following: programs that offer or intend to offer the same accessibility and capacity to families as they did pre-COVID, programs that offer or intend to offer an alternative shift, programs that are located in a low-income area as defined by the state, programs that offer or intend to offer infant and toddler care, programs that have enrollment that is racially or culturally diverse, programs that commit to using a portion of the funds for staff compensation, and programs that intend to use a portion of the funds for recurring staff retention bonuses throughout the life of the award. What type of expenses are eligible? All of the expenses on this slide are eligible. You will be asked to predict what categories you will spend your award in on your application. We are required to collect this information for federal reporting. However, it is fine to change your mind throughout the life of the award and switch categories. Relief for families. It is strongly recommended that the stabilization funds provide some relief to families, such as providers can eliminate late fees during program operating hours for the duration of the award. Providers establish pre-COVID accessibility hours and days, and providers reduce or eliminate copays for subsidy families by using ARPA funds to free up other operating funds to apply towards these copays. How will funds be received? Providers will receive the same monthly benefit until their program is no longer open or November 2022 as funds allow. Funds do not need to be spent each month, but all funds must be spent by December 2022. Data collection. We are required to collect some information from applicants for state and federal reporting. This data will be reported in the aggregate. In the application, a few examples of data we are collecting are race, ethnicity, and gender. There will be a prefer not to answer option for anybody who does not feel comfortable answering these questions. Your initial ideas of the categories you may spend your funds on will also be asked. And once again, you are not locked into those ideas as the grant period continues. Reporting requirements. There will be two reports: an April impact report, which will ask how much you have spent in each category so far, and a final report, which will ask for your final amounts spent in each category. This will be due at the end of the award period or when your program closes. How do I apply? Applications are open now and will remain open for the remainder of the funding period, anticipated to go until November 2022 or until all funds have been expended. A link to the application has been emailed to all childcare and school-age programs and is also available at this website. Applications will be processed as received and checks will be distributed by the last week of each month. Technical assistance. Child development staff will be available to provide technical assistance Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. by emailing this address. Information such as frequently asked questions can also be found on our website. It is a good idea to check the frequently asked questions before emailing with a question, as you may get the answer that you need. Partner support. The partners below are also available to help providers access the application and relevant information. We thank them for their assistance. Translations. The Google Translate feature is available at the bottom of our website to translate website information, including the frequently asked questions. Call the number on this slide for translation services if you need them to complete the application. Translation of this tutorial can also be developed upon request by contacting this phone number.
This section of the tutorial will be a walkthrough of the application form. You should have received a link to the application within your email. If not, you can also find it on our website by going to dcf.vermont.gov/CDD. This initial page of the application will go through the details of the program. To move forward with completing the application, you will need to agree that you meet the eligibility criteria. To do so, select Yes to the question at the bottom of the page and click Next. Please note, at any point during this application, if you need to save it complete at another time, click the Save button located at the bottom of each page of the application. You can log in to an existing JotForm account, create a free JotForm account, or you can click Skip Create an Account. Whichever option you choose, a link will be emailed to you so that you can start where you left off at a later date. This page is to gather basic information about the program. Your program name, license number, and town program is located should reflect what is in the Bright Futures Information System or your license certificate. If there is an organization or person who receives the funds or owns the program and is different from your program's name, please enter the name within the licensee organization name field. Next, you will need to identify your program's federal tax classification. If you choose individual, sole proprietor on your program's IRS W-9 form, please select individual. Otherwise, please select entity. If you choose individual, you will need to provide your Social Security number. If you choose entity, you will need to enter the program's 9-digit Federal Employee Identification Number and DUNS number. For information about DUNS numbers and to obtain a number, please visit our website at dcf.vermont.gov/CDD/grantees. Moving on, you will need to enter the program's mailing address and the point of contact for the program, including their contact information. The point of contact should be someone who can answer any follow-up questions we may have when reviewing your application. We will also need to collect information about the owner or director of the program. If the point of contact is neither, the contact information for the owner or director will need to be entered. The federal government requires that we collect certain demographic information such as ethnicity, race, and gender from the directors or owners. If you are not comfortable providing this information, we do offer prefer not to answer options. This page will focus on the operating details of your program. Please enter an estimate of your program's current monthly expenses. If you have multiple programs, please only include the expenses for the program referenced in this application. Does your program operate year-round or does it operate part of the year? If your program operates part of the year, you will need to provide the dates. So if you operate during the school year, as an example, you may enter August 30th, 2021 as your opening date and June 15th, 2022 as your closing date. If your program is only open in the fall and spring, you may enter your opening date as September 1st, 2021, or your closing date as November 30th, 2022, and your second opening date as March 20th, 2022, and your second closing date as June 20th, 2022. Please enter the current days of the week and hours your program is open. If you are a licensed program, the days and hours cannot exceed what is on your license certificate. We would like to understand if you are offering the same accessibility to families as you did pre-COVID. This means your days of operation, hours, and capacity are what they were before the public health emergency. If you are not, we would like to understand if you intend to use a portion of these funds to get back to pre-COVID accessibility. Please select any alternative schedule options program offers for families. If you're a licensed program, you can only provide care during that days and times listed on your license certificate. If you do not currently offer any alternative schedule options but intend to, please select the appropriate options. If you are a licensed program, please make sure to check in with your licensor before implementing. Next, we will go through enrollment. If your program was open in February 2020, please indicate the number of infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and school-age children that were enrolled. If your program was not open in February 2020, please enter zeros in each of the boxes. As of the date of this application, please enter the number of infants, toddlers, preschoolers, and school-age children currently enrolled in your program. Please indicate if you offer infant and toddler care within your program. If you are a licensed program, this type of care must be listed on your license certificate. If you do not currently provide this care, please indicate if you intend to use a portion of these funds to begin offering this care. If you're a licensed program, please check in with your licensor before implementing any changes to your program. Of the children currently enrolled in your program, please let us know how many are completely or partially funded by Early Head Start, Act 166, Public Education Pre-K funds, and Child Care Financial Assistance Program. Lastly, please indicate of the children currently enrolled in your program what percentage of those children identify as a race other than or in addition to white or whose language spoken at home is not English. This page will focus on the use of funds. You will need to identify if you commit to using a portion of this award for staff compensation, which includes wages, insurance, time off, etc., and if you intend to use a portion of these funds for reoccurring staff retention bonuses throughout the duration of the award period. These two questions are not applicable to approved relative child care providers and will not display if you chose that you are an approved relative child care provider. Do you plan to use these funds for any expenditures between January 31st, 2020 and March 11th, 2021? This would include any expenditures that were related to the public health emergency and not covered by other funding programs. And lastly, we would like to get a sense of how providers will use these funds, so we ask that you please identify which categories you will support with this funding. Please note that you are not obligated to spend the funds in the categories you choose. We are now on the final page of the application. As the person submitting this application, you will need to agree to the certifications listed and then sign the document. Depending on your device, you can sign the document using your mouse or your finger. If you need to double check or make changes to any of your answers, you can click the back button at the bottom of the page and go through and adjust as you need. Once you are satisfied with the application, you can click submit. After you submit, you should receive this confirmation page indicating that you submitted your application. You should also receive an email notification with a copy of your application. If you did not get this confirmation page or the confirmation email or noticed an error in your application, please email ahs.dcf@arpagrant@vermont.gov. Please do not resubmit the application unless advised to do so. We really hope that you found this tutorial helpful.